Hey everyone, how you doing? It's January 2017. I just thought I'd take a walk out here today, have a coffee, and maybe cook something to eat. And I wanted to show you the anorak that I made. It's probably been 2 years since I've made it, and I wanted to make the video because I remember when I was making trying to make the anorak shirt. You know, there's a lot of videos out online that or on YouTube that really helped me in some of the decisions and things that I chose to do. And it's more or less you know, just kind of one of those give back if anybody else is out there and they, you know, they're thinking about making their own. You know, the ones that they sell, they're you know, they're a little pricey, you know, I think, for what you get. You know, I don't know, I've never owned one or saw one up close, but you know, it's a basic, it's a wool shirt that you pull over your head, you know, pocket in the front. And you know, when I saw them, like, I wanted one, and I knew the value that you know, of something, having something like that would be. So I decided that I would, you know, just make my own. And you know, I don't have much experience sewing and stuff like that. And when I was thinking about it, I was actually I was thinking about hiring a woman to do it. And then after I started thinking everything that I wanted on the jacket, you know, it just became, it's so hard to, you know, to tell somebody what exactly you want. And you know, when it came down to it, I thought I'm just going to have to do it myself. So you know, I just did. I got the blanket and everything. When I got the blanket, it was I think it was gray, like a gray color, and I dyed it. I was going for like a dark brown kind of thing, and I used fabric dye, and honest to God, that was shit. It didn't work. I ended up using some of my leather dye, believe it or not. I just poured it right in and sloshed it around, pulled it out, hung the blanket on the clothesline, and this is the color it turned out. I don't even know what color this would be. It's like a brown, I don't know, hazel. I like it though. I like the way it turned out. But I'll just talk a little bit about it. What are some of the things that I did. To start off with, this, what you see here is an oilskin. It was from, you had one of those Australian Outback jackets, and I had it for years. I wore it when I was younger, and I hung on to it. And I decided that was it. I'm just going to take it apart. So I took the top part, the shoulder flaps, I guess, I don't know, and took them off, put it on this. It's treated, so it sheds the snow, which I think it works great, you know. And that was another thing that you know, if you're thinking about buying one of the boreal shirts, or the different makers that make the shirt, you know, I kind of wish they would put a little bit more into it, you know, even something on the shoulders to keep that wet snow off. You know, I know everybody says that wool, you know, holds its heat, you know, has 80% of its value, still holds while it's wet, but you know, a little bit more, you know, just throw something over the shoulders, or sew it right into the shoulder, you know, on those shirts, you know, something that will repel the water on your back, kind of thing, when you're walking. I would just like to see a little bit more for the price that some of you people have paid or are thinking about paying, you know. But this is something maybe you could add on after on your own shirt if you bought it. I did the elbows as well. That was some of the fabric out of the jacket that I used, so if I put my arm down on something wet, it doesn't soak up the water. And there's a front pocket on the inside, or a front pocket on the outside. There's a pocket on the inside too. It has 3 sections where you can put different things. They don't fall out. And then a bigger pocket in behind that one. So I can hold quite a bit of stuff in here that will never fall out. And you know, and plus you got the big outside pocket itself. And what I did on this jacket, the front inside of it and the back of it is lined with what do you call that? It's like a felt material, or I'll think of it after. And I line the inside of the pocket with it too, so it's polar fleece, that's what it is. And it's not as scratchy, you know, and it holds a lot of the heat. Like, honest to God, even today it's I think it's 1 degree Celsius out here, and it's too much. Like this jacket is, you know, in -20 is the comfortable temperature to wear this jacket. I made it, it's warm. This here is just a Mora Classic. It's in a leather sheath here, and there's a button here on it, and it just stays on the shirt all the time. Whenever you put the shirt on, the knife's right there, you know. There's a drawstring on the side of it that you can pull it in tight and tuck it in, you know. Just when you're sitting around, when you're walking, you kind of want that breeze to flow through. So I don't really do it up too much. I have a clasp here. You can just hook whatever you want on there, your gloves, when you're not using them. Just little options kind of thing. What else here? There's this part on the inside. You can take the whole thing right out if you want to, you know. I did it all draws up tight. I put leather around the cuffs, you know, just to stop from all the wear and tear and stuff like that, you know. I didn't want it fraying and stuff, so I lined it with just a piece of leather, sewed it on by hand. There's a pocket here on my shoulder, and this whole pocket itself, you can take the whole pocket right off. It's just held on by snaps if you choose to. And I just keep things in here. I got a flashlight in here, probably some fire starting stuff, you know, whatever you want to put in there. Again, it was just another little add-on thing, you know. Since I was doing it, might as well just go all out, right? This thing here, there's a leather patch. You can take it off, and it's a mirror, so if you want, you can check yourself, you know, and it just sticks back on there. That's it. This side, or the hood, I guess, there's a hood. That was you know, to do this shirt, it really wasn't that bad, you know. Thank God there was those videos out there, the how-to videos and stuff like that. And you know, you can get a lot of information from some of those guys, and they're not just one video, you know. You kind of got to watch 5 or 6 of them and take little bits from each one, you know. But they certainly help, especially when you have no, you know, you're not a seamstress or a person that sews very much. So anything's a help. But you know, like I said, you know, watch 5 or 6 videos, you know, and you know, if you want to take notes, whatever, just you know, you got to take key things, because I didn't see one video out there that I thought that's, you know, that's the video. There's, you know, you gotta watch quite a few of them. Anyways, when I went to do the hood, there was the one part that was really bugging me. You know, I stretched the material as far as it would go. You know, I'm 6'1", 6'2" kind of thing. I needed the length in arms, so I had to sew an extra length in the arm. And still, I'm thinking about a hood the whole time. You know, I really like a hood in the winter time. So, you know, it came right down to, like, honest to God, the scraps that I have left from the wool blanket. It's just a few. There's just a few scraps left. I used everything there was. And when I went to do the hood, I was really worried about the hood. I didn't know how to do it. So, you know, I just jumped into it and did it as best as I thought you would make a hood, and you know, and it turned out. The hood has a snap on it at the back, and there's one thing I hate about the hoods on jackets and stuff. When you bend down, the hood falls over top of your head, you know, and that just bugs the hell out of me. Sometimes I'll just take a hood off for that reason. So when I made this, I made it so it's snapped up. So when you bend down, the hood stays on your back when you're not using it. When you want it, you can just reach up, unsnap it, and then pull it over top of your head. So that's the inside of the hood too is lined with polar fleece too, so it's a little softer and gives you just that extra that warmth. The whole hood itself, it does come off. You can unsnap the whole thing, take it right off if you want, but you know, like I said, I just leave it on. You can cinch it right up too. I put these little I don't know what you call them. They're just stretch them up and hold it. So you can cinch the whole hood up, tie the whole jacket up tight, and kind of buckle yourself in almost. There's this on this arm. I had, like again, I pieced together some scrap material that was left. It snaps onto my arm and Velcros. So when you're out, so where does it go? There's snaps on this, if I can find them. That's if you're not wearing a scarf or something like that, you can just throw this over your face. Say you're ice fishing out on the lake or something, and it gets that wind picks up on a lake or something, and it gets pretty darn cold, and you don't have a scarf with you or something like that. You know, it was easy to do, and you just snap it over, snap it on the sides, pull it up, and that's it. It just kind of protects your cheeks and your face from that really cold weather. And then you just throw it back on your arm when you're not using it. And I think that might be about it. Like I said, it certainly was a challenge for me, to say the least. It's the biggest thing that I've ever attempted on a sewing machine. You know, I'm by no means a person that can sew really well, and I admire now the people that I do see that are seamstresses or people that sew things. You know, I really admire their work now. After doing it, it's no joke. You know, I work with leather, woodworker, stuff like that. You know, and every time I sew, it just I grind my teeth, and I can't believe that there's people out there that can do it so well. But I'm not saying like I hate it. I don't hate it. It's just a job that, you know, when you have to do it, you just have to do it, you know. And if you look closely at my work, you know, there's not a straight line on this thing, but I don't care, you know. At the end of the day, I made it, and I'm the first person to say that I'm really not that good at sewing. You know, I get by, and that's it. You know, I've been asked by some people that have seen this, me wearing it out, asked where I got it, or after I tell them I made it, they've asked me if I would make another one, and no way. I want to make another one. This one's going to fit me for the rest of my life, and if I don't make another one, then that's fine with me, because it's not something I really wanted to do again, and I'm not trying to deter anybody from doing it. It was just I was happy that it turned out good, and I'm done. I can move on. I'll tackle something else, whatever it be, you know. But this to me was a one-time thing, and like I said, I'm not trying to discourage anybody from doing it. It's you know, it just takes a lot of prep work, a lot of laying out, a lot of thinking, kind of thing. You know, again, like, I love to try and make most of my own gear. You know, I actually I just made this. I made this tomahawk yesterday. This head that I was hanging on to, I've had it for quite a few years, and then, you know, I just found it the other day, and I thought, you know, the hell with it. I'm just gonna, you know, it was one of those days where you just feel like being in the shop, kind of thing, and making something. So I'm not sure what they were called. It's an antique or whatever. I reground the bottom edge here. It came straight across here, and it had one of those like a nail puller. So I don't know if it was like an old carpenter's kind of a axe slash hammer, you know, kind of a multi-tool thing. But when I saw it a long time ago, I always knew that, you know, there's something I'm going to do with that. And when I saw it again the other day, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to turn it into a tomahawk. It had a hammer pull, or a hammer on the back of it here that stuck out maybe 5/8 of an inch more, and I felt it was a little too long, so I cut that off and then sanded the head down, or sanded the end of it down. It's very like a thin axe, tomahawk, you know. I was doing a little bit of chopping out here with it, and it works. You know, it works good. It works about as good as a tomahawk would. You know, if you've ever picked one up and used it, you know, a tomahawk's a tomahawk. You know, they're not the best choppers, certainly not the best splitters, but just one of those things I just wanted to do. The wood that I chose, I had lying around, was some sapelli, which is somewhat of a, it would be in the same family as a mahogany kind of wood, and the old mahogany that they used to build the furnitures out of, there's not much of it left, you know. So sapelli is just kind of like a sister wood to that. It has a really nice grain in it, and in the sunlight it almost has like a ribbon effect, you know. So I figured it didn't have to be a really strong handle, like hickory or ash or something like that. I'm probably not going to be using it too much, but you know, it doesn't have a very big head, so it's not like you're going to be swinging it anyways, and I'm not going to try splitting logs with it. So I'm pretty confident that the wood is going to hold up, and you know, if it doesn't, well then hell with it, I'll just make another handle. Anyways, I just wanted to show you the shirt, you know, for those of you who are out looking, you know, maybe thinking about making your own or purchasing one, you know, I say try your hand at making one. It's a wool blanket. You can pick them up pretty cheap, and you know, even seek out some help from a family member or something like that. You know, everybody has somebody in their family that can sew. So, you know, there's always people to ask, and like I said, just try your hand at it, and you know, hope for the best. You'll end up with something decent, and whatever it is that you end up with, you're proud of it. You know, that's kind of the whole point of making your own stuff. You know, just it's that sense of pride, you know, that it gives you. Anyways, I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. All right.